I think where the county's kind of hurt here is we made a deal and then we raised the price without notifying them in advance. You know what I mean? I think if you're gonna raise a rate on somebody, you should let them know that rates are coming, that it could be increased, you know?
I see that, but at the same time, they were well aware that we were gonna consider it 60 days whether his services were gonna continue at all. They didn't have to take him at $200 an hour.
Did we receive formal notice asking to extend Phillips 60 days?
They made a motion, and I shared that with you. Mr. Van Orbeck brought it up, and I don't know where I got the sense to do it, but I asked them to make the motion that they wanted to extend the contract, further.
Did they explain at that point how far? Did they vote on that?
Remember, help me out here, Philip. I think it was to the first of the year. Was that their request?
If they do hire somebody, I will take annual leave to go up there and help them. So I'll just use vacation time and go up there and help the county whenever necessary.
Well, I wish you would make that statement, please. We're trying to resolve this.
But the council has voted, as
Well,
we discussed, at January 1st.
I understand, but that's
Can't continue that.
not necessary. It's a little threatening. It's not necessary.
It's certainly not a threat. That's not accurate. The fact is, I have an obligation to my profession, okay? And that profession is as well as possible to provide some pretty good governance, okay? As you go, as I've heard, we're talking about boundary adjustments, annexations, you need the county also, okay? You need the county also, all right?
Well, this is our
Just
opportunity.
as well
that
as
they
both
need us,
sides need
and
each other.
I just don't see.
And the county and the town have not traditionally done very well. And the town of Blackstone and Crew traditionally have not done very well. But we're doing better.
We're doing
And
well.
we're talking.
We're doing well.
and
Look
we
at
need
the-
to continue
I'm
to do
sorry
that.
to interrupt you, but look at where we were and look at where we are, where we've acquired the school property. You know, they waived this fee. I mean, I understand council's concern about the hiring process, but it's an opportunity for us to do the right thing and continue moving forward with what I'm trying to accomplish here. But I understand it's not my decision. I've already voiced my opinion. Mr. Miller, you have the floor.
I got a question. Okay, so $200 an hour. How many hours have you did this month so far?
I billed them through the 17th of November is the last time I billed them, and it was 6 hours.
Okay, so we're not talking a huge amount of money because you're not supposed to be up there after January the 1st anyway, right? So
We really just didn't wanna be paying the county to use our town manager. Or losing money for them to use our town manager.
but it's just about over. This is what I'm saying. I mean, it's just about over, so we might well just let it go. And then if something comes up then we do something about it. But you're only talking about, what, 9 days or something? So, I mean, if you gotta pay him $200, and then when it comes back up again, then we'll renegotiate this thing. But I don't think it should come back up. Because I think the council
He was in front of you.
just about said January the 1st was all we were gonna put up with.
Hold tight, Mr. Nash. A follow-up question?
I was gonna make a motion, but
Hold on, let's finish.
I just had a question for Philip. Are you being real lenient in your billing? Because, I mean, there's a lot of times, you know, we get a hold of you, you're up at the county, you're in a meeting. Are you just billing for I mean, is it accurate depiction? Is that 6 hours, the whole month is all you did?
Between the 27th of November and the 27th of October and the 17th of November, I only went up for 6 hours.
I think you're doing more after hours now than you were.
My last invoicing to the county for after hours was 13 and a half hours.
That's,
Going to meetings and things like that.
You had mentioned, and then I'll let Jake make a motion. You had mentioned the fact that the county had given us that. In all defense of the taxpayers of Blackstone, we took a burden off their hands.
absolutely, and I understand
we have
that.
bettered their property.
But I
with the-
guess,
And so with that, I'm gonna let Jake make his motion and I'll support it. But I can tell you, it ain't with a whole lot of anxiety.
well, I guess what you know, Mr. Nash, you may be right, and, but
I'll
I'm
let the
just
chairman
trying to
know
sell,
that I'm gonna sit here and eat crow.
okay.
But the chairman of Nottaway County,
I don't want to I don't wanna go into that, please. Okay, we have an opportunity to reestablish an alliance, and let's don't
Let the
cast a
lines be
cloud over it.
two-sided, two ways.
I understand, Mr. Nash.
And I got one more question before we finish. Okay, so in other words, what Philip said, as of January the 1st, this contract is over. Anything he does for the county now, he will use his annual leave.
I don't want him to have to do that. I would,
Wait,
I'm gonna wait.
We
Okay.
need to get stuff straight.
Well, then that's why we have a motion and a second, then we'll discuss it.
Okay.
So Mr. Almond, you have the floor.
Even though I believe that $200 is a more than fair rate for somebody of Philip's experience in this consultant role, out of the spirit of what's best for, what I believe is best for the citizens of Blackstone, the citizens of Nottaway County, and the Nottaway Gators, as a Gator myself, I will make a motion to go back to $100 an hour, as well as retroactively go back to whenever that motion was originally made to go to 200.
Last council meeting, wasn't it?
I think it was
Okay.
last meeting.
Last
I don't
meeting,
know.
wasn't it?
If you
Last
be
meeting.
so kind, then can we, before you continue your motion, Mr. Van Ormick, I don't want you to have to take annual leave, okay? When do you think would be an appropriate time to extend this agreement?
I think that there'll be somebody hired.
We've got a,
Point
I
of-
second it. Let's-
Yeah, point of order, there would be two separate issues. If
Well,
you're bringing
the
it,
reason I'm asking this, Mr. Page, is hopefully to wrap this up in one motion and move on, is what I'm trying to do.
but the point of order on that is you normally would be able to, but the motion it was already passed and it's being brought back up. So the motion is to rescind. You can't amend a motion.
Well, you're correct.
Yeah.
Mr. Almond has moved, and do I have a second to rescind that motion?
I second.
Mr. Miller has second to rescind the original motion. Is there any discussion? Ask for a voice vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Nah.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Motion carries 5-1-1. All right, now the floor is open to define our intentions and our offer to the county now. Mr. Almond, I'll give you that opportunity.
You just said. Minus the Gators, please. We should not be using a youth sports team as a bribery. That should be
Okay,
done
I'm
out of-
sorry that
What triggered
got
this
brought
though?
up.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's why I'm naying. I'm all about the Gators.
100%.
What's behind this, what the driving force behind this is bleachers.
But
It
No.
wouldn't have come up with one for the
as,
bleachers.
and that's why I said I'm eating crow, because as we have seen in the paper and on social media, we have too much drama in the town of Blackstone.
Yeah, it was just-
I, as a council president, I've informed Jake, I've informed many, we gotta get over this crap. All of us, 8 of us up here. That's why I really felt a little appalled by the almost trip hazard of the request earlier. So I'm with going with Jake on this, just for the simple fact, let's get over this crap, guys.
Well, that's what I want
And
to
I'm
do.
not gonna, and I hope that Jake will not make the motion that it says anything about the Gators, because the Nottaway County Board should never hang a fruit of a youngster in our county to make us vote one way or the other.
And I
They
never
should
knew
do that out of the goodness of their heart and say, please take these bleachers so these kids can better their skills. to
But
leave this
I
county better.
I understand and I agree with you, but I've never,
Bleachers for 2 decades now outside of my office window where they haven't moved, and we're talking about.
I understand that, but have you been officially, I have not, as a mayor, been officially declined this because of the bleachers. Have you, Mr. Van Ormick?
I think the request was made and the mention, they did not agree to allow us to use the bleachers, to have the bleachers, and then the mention was made about the council's action.
Again,
Think there is
let
leakage.
them.
Okay.
let-
Well, that's not appropriate either.
Yeah.
Okay, but I agree with you, Mr. Nash. Let's put this behind us
Let's go. Come on.
and let's move on.
I have a
Okay.
question. Phil, how much of a transition period after hire do you think you need?
Depends on who they hire.
Depends on who they hire, good point, but I
Right.
would say that whoever takes the job is gonna have to have 30 days to take the job, to show up on there. So, like I said, I'm not threatening you. I'd be happy to take vacation time or comp time or whatever is out there. I don't have a problem doing that. I want to see this through. I told the folks that I would help them. Literally, I spent 3 hours up there last week. That's it. And the only reason I did, and I got to go tomorrow for an hour, those ladies got this. I mean, they're getting the bills paid. I'm not taking on big projects and letting somebody new do that. But we got a mold problem in the treasurer's office.
I think there's a
And I
desire
got to be involved in
here.
that.
There's a desire here to move on. We're just trying to define it. What would you suggest that we make a motion to do, time-wise? That's what we're trying to find out.
I don't know if
Do you need a timeline, or it can be at your discretion?
Just let me tell you what's going on. And I mean, if you want to set a definitive date, you can, and I'll honor it. But I don't know.
the county ought to be giving us, asking us as a request, not us putting a time frame out there. I mean, we're not the ones hiring and firing and doing whatever. Why are they not putting a request to us, say, hey, please, can we have Philip for another 20 days? Can, we don't know if they're even, have they interviewed anybody? I don't know. I don't know. It's not my business.
But
Maybe
that's,
they don't want Philip anymore. We don't know.
That might be okay.
but it should be a letter. It should be a letter sent to the council requesting how much more time that they think they're gonna need you. Because right now the council, we don't know anything. I mean, you know, first it was 30 days, then it's gone back up. So the council needs to enlighten. I agree with letting bygones be bygones. I don't have a problem
Please,
with that.
please do.
Get the peace. But the county needs to let this council know what's up too.
All right.
Sure.
I'm gonna be continuing this meeting to the 3rd or the 4th of January. And can you get us a correspondence from Chairman Rourke on what they want? In the meantime, can I get a motion from council that we go back to the $100 rate until we just take care of this?
No, I'm going back to
Did I?
No, we just rescinded the motion.
Oh, sure. Make a motion to go to the $100 an hour rate for Mr. Benorbic's services to Nottaway County.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Page, a second. And this motion makes no reference to the time. It's just until we can meet first of the year and go further and have a request from the county.
question.
Yes, sir.
The question was about the $200, right? This is what it's all about. So you're saying, your motion is saying not to pay the $200, go back to the $100.
Go back to the 100 just in the interest of moving forward with relations. That's really all it is. But I would ask that, you're,
Okay.
when do you think we can hear from them?
I mean, I can, if you don't, I can call him tomorrow. I
Okay.
mean,
Did
I,
we vote? Sorry, did we
no, we haven't voted.
amend my motion for, you said the 3rd?
Well, either the 3rd or the 4th, that's another conversation.
To our next, call council meeting.
But continue.
I'm sorry, our
Continue
continued council
meeting.
meeting. I'm in early January.
All right, is there any other discussion?
One thing, if y'all are talking about continuing his, y'all have already made a motion until January 1st, so we need to rescind that as well.
I think he rescinded the whole
We
motion.
rescinded the whole motion. All of it, time, everything.
Yeah, the $200 into January 1st were in the whole motion.
Right, it's all been, it's squashed, and now we're putting a temporary thing in place until we can meet and we can hear from the county.
Is that gonna give them a credit? Have we billed them at a $200 an hour rate? Yeah, okay.
And, before you decide on a date, I think Accountant Finance was trying to meet the first week, Philip, right, in January to go over the proposals that you get from CD Rates.
I think, yeah, CD rate's pretty cut and dry. Let's just
Okay.
do it. as a full council. It doesn't need to come to us.
Okay.
And I think, Alex, the new transit director, was wanting to meet with Accountant Finance for the bus budget, cause that's due by February 1st. So I don't know if y'all still wanna do it that week.
But if we need to have if accountant
But
finance.
the three of y'all can come in half an hour before the meeting, can't you?
Yeah.
That sounds good.
But I was
Okay.
getting ready to say, don't schedule anything after January 22nd, because I'm gonna be out for a few minutes.
All right, well, we'll put y'all on the 3rd or the 4th, okay? All right, is there any other discussion? And the motion is to go back to the $100 rate until January 3rd or the 4th, next time we meet.
Waiting on correspondence from the
Waiting.
county requesting an action.
Right, and then the council has authorized me to contact Chairman Rourke, is that correct? Is there, Mr. Page is second, and it was Mr. Almond's motion? Voice vote, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Any opposed?
No.
Motion carries 6-1, is
While
that,
you have him on the phone, ask him if we can get some bleachers, please.
all right, I'll do my best. Okay, the mayor's minute went on for, I don't know, the other thing I had is, High Street, the blighted property, and the manager touched on that. Is there any update on the RFP for our town attorney? And this will be it from there.
The RFP has been issued, request for proposals. You guys looked at it, Missy York reviewed it, and I think there's an invoice for $137 in your board packet. It was issued, and I believe the receipt date is January 15th for proposal. And if I'm not mistaken, it's also been put on EVA. So you probably get a pretty wide response.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we've already heard it from the police department. Now is the second time, for the second opportunity for citizens that would like to address the council. Anyone like to come forward? Ms. Tucker, if you don't mind, your name and address for the record, please.
Where should I put it?
Just speak into the microphone.
Oh, my name is May Tucker. I'm from 336 Tucker Drive in Blackstone. I would like to commend the council on your handling of your meeting tonight. But what I came forward to, and I don't want to bring up or go back, but I would like to say this. I am not a crazy. I do support Chris Page on certain things, and I don't support him on others. And what I do is go to Chris and look him in his face and tell him, "You're wrong, man, you shouldn't do this." But he's like a bulldog, as you all know. The other thing is, I guess I'm getting personal, but I shouldn't. Mayor Green, I'm the mayor, I limit you. That's very unprofessional, in my opinion. And I'm always saying in my opinion so that I can't get sued, because everybody has an opinion. When the council gets to the point where citizens go up and talk about something to another board or whatever, they're called cowards, or you're following this, you're a bunch of crazies. That's not what you're supposed to do. I am far from crazy. I'm not a follower of Chris Page, but I do support a lot of his transparencies and what's being done. Now, in one meeting before, he was asked, "Why did you bring this to the town council?" He didn't bring that to the town council. We found out in the last meeting, the lady was solicited by you all admitting it, which you probably wouldn't have done had we not seen the video. She wrote the letter, and it's all over. But I'm saying before the council, to Chris, this is between you as a parent and Mrs. Folks as the principal. Y'all get together and work out something. You take somebody as a witness, she has somebody as a witness, shake hands and let it go. And if she says it's not gonna happen again, she's gonna check the playlist, that's what she should do, and it should be left right there. She wrote a lot of stuff, and it shouldn't be tit for tat. I don't write on Facebook. I don't write letters to the editor. I come to Mr. Allman, Mr. Nash, Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller and I talked about some things that I was very adamant about. And he said, "Okay, I'm glad you explained that. It's over now. I'm finished." That's the way it should have been handled. And I've talked to Mr. Mayor, I call him Mr., but Mayor Green. I've talked to him on several occasions. I don't talk about Chris to him, and I don't talk about Mr. Green to Chris. I don't allow that. If we're gonna talk about something, we each three to get together, and I'm gonna talk about both of you in front of each other. That's the way I handle things. So from now on, could you all agree to have a meeting? This is not your council. This is the town of Blackstone's council, and you're supposed to be working for the citizens of Blackstone. And I was just thinking, very few up here are really elected. Some of you ran unopposed, so of course you were gonna be on the council. Chris and Eric, or Mr. Nash and Mr. Page, they were elected because they had contested races, and Mr. Miller. So stop and think about that. Work together, so you don't look bad. I hate to go to my friends and didn't really, man, what's going on in Nottaway County? Darn if I know. I'll wait till I read it in the paper. But you all get together, work together. Don't jump Mr. Page every time. It's a known thing, Mr. Miller and Ms. Page, like oil and water. At one time, they were friends.
Your time is about up.
Okay, thank you, but
But-
please see if you
Yes,
can work.
ma'am. And I greatly appreciate your comments.
And I'll be talking to you too.
Anytime, ma'am. You know where I am, and I love talking with you, so come see me anytime,
We get to respond, right?
if you wish.
It's a great example, Ms. Tucker. You and I served on a very contentious board together when we, over at the Nottaway County Elections Office. And we would go head to head. And we've been in lawsuits together. I sued you. Yeah, we went through that process. Ms. Tucker,
Everything doesn't call for a lawsuit.
no, it doesn't. That's right. But you and I have remained very good friends. And, Ms. Tucker calls me and I call her. She answers the phone for me. I answer the phone for her, and she's always given me her honest opinion. And, I trust her opinion. So, if there's any example, that boards can be contentious, but you could still work together. And it's a relationship with me and Ms. Tucker proves that. So.
All right, any other comments, council? Any other visitors? Any other visitors? All right, hearing none, let's see, we have informational items in your council package. Do you have any questions or any concerns about any of the correspondence or any of the, information provided? Hearing none, we have 2 closed sessions this evening. I'll call a 3-minute recess, and then we'll call for a vote to proceed in 3 minutes. We are now in recess, Madam Clerk.